That's a great idea. I mean, you could sit there and really solve this problem and just watch them eat each other alive.
Yeah. I think no one's really thinking about a Psyop because we tend to think that this is a war that is being fought over in the streets with guns. But the leaders of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, those guys are dressed up properly as a army. They know of strategy, they know of trends, they know of weapons, they know how to weaponize a drone, IEDs. They hang a lot of new banners saying it's prohibited to produce fentanyl in Sinaloa. We're gonna kill you if we find you, doing this shit. What is that if not a very basic and primitive attempt to do a Psyop against the people, right? Mm-hmm. Saying like, hey, we're not doing fentanyl. We're the good guys. And literally the first comment is a bot with 2 followers on my Twitter saying, it's El Mayo Zambada. That's territory of El Mayo Zambada putting in fentanyl. That shit is happening. And also I think we touched superficially last night about if El Mencho really exists, right? The leader of the new generation Jalisco Cartel. It's been years, probably a decade since his last photo. We've been hearing his voice popping up here and there, but with an AI, it's super easy to replicate a voice. We don't even know if that's him. It's super easy to start a whole fucking cartel that is a Psyop, right? It's like, does the Jalisco New Generation Cartel really exist, or is that a Psyop? Because you see the soldiers, but you never see the higher-ups. You never see who's leading. You never see people like El Chapo, that he was arrested a couple of times and he was like escaping prisons. El Mayo Zambada giving out an interview with Julio Scherer from Proceso magazine. Los Chapitos, very out there. They even had their own socials at some point. But the leaders of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, those guys are dressed up properly as a army. They know of strategy, they know of trends, they know of weapons, they know how to weaponize a drone, IEDs, and they have this mythical leadership called El Mencho that we don't know if it's still alive or dead, and that's dividing that cartel. Half of that cartel is saying he's dead, and half of the same cartel is saying no, he's pretty much alive.
I mean, it's I've told you, I've been interviewing. Everybody's so far behind the news cycle.
Yeah.
And I've been in, like I said, it's been election season, or it is election season. I've been interviewing politician here and there, and I've had some really bright minds on this show talking about how they could combat this stuff. And, DeSantis wants to send in military. A lot of these guys are saying, let's send in the military to handle this. Now, in my opinion, yes, we could absolutely destroy the cartels. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have ever seen a special operations unit function in combat, good luck, buddy. Like, I don't care who you are, we are going to come out on top. Mm-hmm. I mean, we are. That aspect of the military is top. Everything about the U.S. military is top notch, but that specifically, I mean, it's just, we're going to come out on top. I think that we could destroy them.
At least the armed branch of our organization, right? Like now, all of the henchmen and stuff.
I think we would come out on top with every fight that we pick.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way. Then I interviewed Eric Prince, and I was all about that. I had talked about that with DeSantis. I think I had talked about that with Vivek, maybe. And then Eric Prince came on, and he said, and he made a great point, that I had not thought of. He goes, he goes, absolutely, that's not going to work. He goes, apparently nobody's learned anything from Afghanistan. Yeah. What happens? Everybody says, oh, cut the head off the snake, get the top guy. Well, we got the top guy, I don't know how many times, throughout the past 20 years, the top guys, and I think number 2, Al-Qaeda, had about a 2-week life expectancy.
Yeah.
which means every 2 weeks
We'll
another
bring
one's
another one.
rotating in. Then he talked about, well, we can't just go down there and bomb them and bomb the lowest element,
Yeah.
which has the most people, which would be
All the soldiers.
armies,
And, yeah.
because then you would be killing innocent women and children.
Yeah.
And so his plan, what he thought would be good, would be to take this fight to China and basically cut off the supply, cut off the chemists they're sending down there. But that information is 2 years old, at least. I mean,
Yeah.
you had that information 2 years ago. I think the Psyop is that's the play.
I think no one's really thinking about a Psyop because we tend to think that this is a war that is being fought over in the streets with guns. But we forget that these guys have a lot of what I told you the last couple of times I've been here, a lot of social bases. They are in the heads of the people. They are in the heads of a whole population, of a whole territory, you know. But at the same time, that's the weakest point. They are egomaniacs. They have a lot of, issues on their heads, on their minds, from what they've seen, from what they do, from believing that they started out from nothing and became the kings of the world, having much money from, out of nothing. In a couple of days, they made millions of dollars, and now they're on top of the game stuff. And I mean, that's their weakest point, of course, right? That's I don't want to say it the wrong way, but that's sort of my way in with these criminal organizations. It's not something that I show up by whatever. I get to their heads, I get to their minds, I tell them what they want to hear, and they show me what I want to see, and and that's why this is ongoing, and probably that's why I've been able to go in and out several times with different organizations. Not without trouble, right? Like they've threatened me before and shit. But that has worked for me in the past for reporting. But imagine for an army doing that.
Yeah.
Breaking them from the inside.
Man, I'm just blown away. That's a great idea. I mean, you could sit there and really solve this problem and just watch them eat each other alive.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I was telling you before, like I think it could get bad for Mexico before it gets good, because this is gonna start a ugly war between them inside their own factions, inside their own core, probably inside their own families, and that's gonna hurt.
I mean, this is what it seems to me that these guys love it when you come around. They know they're going to get publicity.
Yeah.
They like hanging out with you. You've told me that they love this show. I mean, do you get any, like, when this goes out, we're talking about how to break up the cartels in Mexico, like the top cartels. What's the conversation going to be like when you return there and they listen to this and they're saying, I mean, are they going to ask you, like, why are you talking about how to break us up? If we get broken up, you're out of a job.
I'm not putting up bullshit, I'm not lying. This is an honest thought I have. This is me thinking. This is me, who I am. I'm transparent like that. I can tell you what I'm thinking all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in a foreign army showing up and killing people. And if that was my talking point right now, telling you like, yes, man, like we can send a army and kill all of those, and that's how you're gonna get rid of them. They're gonna tell, you're gonna tell, everybody's gonna tell that I don't believe in that shit. That that's not something I really believe. So that's gonna what are they gonna think about that? They're gonna think like, why is he playing like that? Why is he saying that kind of bullshit? Mm-hmm. That's bullshit. He knows that's bullshit. It's probably more smart than that. That's gonna probably have consequences. They'll probably say like, what the f are you talking about, man? Sending the army to kill us? That's not a fucking thing. Like you.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, honestly, transparently saying like, dude, these guys have big egos. These guys have weak minds when it comes to operating inside their minds, right? they have strong minds to take a lot of shit from outside impulses, right? Killing people, holding up to information, being tortured, blah 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 blah. But when it comes to their family, their own, how they see themselves, how they perceive themselves, they lack a lot of a lot of like self-respect, a lot of like self-love, a lot of like that kind of shit.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.